This week, we take a behind-the-scenes look at the newest show choir competition held here in downtown Tupelo. We also highlight THS Voices and their impact on the Black History Month program. Welcome back to another episode of WTHS News. I'm Thomas Roper. On February 16th, our show choir department kicked off its first ever show choir competition. Julia Jane has more on this special event.
Look what we've done! We're about the peace that your birds are always done.
Tupelo's show choir season is off to a historic start. On February 16th and 17th, the show choir department hosted the King City Classic, its first ever show choir competition. 19 groups from 3 different states came to the Cadence Bank Arena to compete in the inaugural competition. Elementary and middle school groups competed on the 16th, while high school groups took the stage on the 17th. Director Danielle Ratliff says hosting this competition has been a long-time dream come true for her.
When I was a student here, we talked about having a competition one day. It was just a dream, a pie in the sky, and ever since I have been teaching here, it's still been just a dream, and it feels incredible to actually have made that happen.
Planning for the King City Classic began in February of last year. Ms. Ratliff says this competition will have many benefits for Synergy in the future.
So I think one of the most important things about having this event is that the dividends are far more than financial. What it does for us in our little niche part of our world, in the show choir world, it gives credibility to our program. It also helps our students learn how to have skills such as hosting and learning how to be a good steward of people coming into our space, and also for us to help bring show choir to Tupelo.
Members of Synergy were given the opportunity to host the other groups and show their hospitality to the visitors. Freshman Sadie Raper got to cheer on her friends in the other show choirs and loved showing the community what Synergy can do.
It's like really fun, like it's not nerve-wracking at all, and you just like show them what you love. Like show choir is my favorite thing that I do, and we have worked on it since like August, like the beginning, like vocals, dancing, and like putting it together and just showing them like what we've been doing is like probably the most fun I've ever had.
While Synergy was not judged for their performance, they got to perform before awards were announced. Junior Ajalon White says her favorite part of the competition was getting to showcase their piece without the stress of getting judged.
It was just different. I don't think it's ever like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's never like we ever get to just see the behind the scenes of things. Like we never see what all goes into a competition, and like this time we actually got to see it. Grenada
Visions won overall grand champion, followed by Auburn Varsity Singers in second and Jackson Academy Encore in third. It will be exciting to see how the King City Classic goes in the future. I'm Joy Jane Averett, WTHS News.
Thanks, Joy Jane. Our show choir department has many accomplishments to be proud of. In other news, the Scholastic Journalism Fair was held on February 21st. Last week, students across the country celebrated Scholastic Journalism Week. The theme for this year is Here to Stay. The Journalism Education Association hosts the Scholastic Journalism Week every year. To honor this week, the Tupelo chapter of Journalism Honor Society, Quill and Scroll, hosted a career fair to show why journalism continues to be an important part of our community.
It's really important. Journalists are really important for our democracy. If we don't have a group of young people that are committed to seeking out the truth, reporting it, asking tough questions, and communicating to the public honestly, then we're in real trouble, right?
Journalists and organizations talk to students in WTHS, Wave Media, and digital media about what it is like to be a journalist outside the walls of Tupelo High School.
We love what we do, so it is always an honor and a privilege to share our talents with the students in hopes of inspiring them to pursue their creative outlets too.
After a fun week of learning more about journalism, Andrea Sell from WCBI was here to teach our students what it is like to be a professional journalist. Speaking of achievements, our Lady Wave basketball team is back-to-back semifinalist. Rylie has more updates in this week's sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Rylie Robinson and welcome back to this week's sports. This past weekend, our Golden Wave baseball team played Jackson Prep. On Friday, the Wave scored their first point in the third inning, leaving the score to be 1-0. During the game, sophomore Andrew Goad hit a home run. The end score was 5-4, with Tupelo beating Jackson Prep.
My personal goals are just stay focused and keep on doing what the coach is telling me to do and just improve.
Speaking of baseball, Max introduces us to a baseball player who's been having a very successful season so far.
Davis Miller's in his first year starting on varsity. At 17 at-bats for the season, he's hitting for a whopping .412 batting average with 7 hits. But Davis got the news that he was going to start. He was thrilled.
He doesn't really tell us before the first game, but I was pretty excited when I saw the roster.
Baseball is a tough sport. Like any other sport, there are struggles. With baseball, there's failure.
The hardest part is probably knowing you're going to fail and having to overcome that.
Coach Reed, the head baseball coach, talks about how Davis can continue to get better throughout the season.
Oh yeah, just like everybody else. I think it's a day-to-day thing. It's one of those deals where you have to come to work every day and try to get better at everything. You know, whether it's the day that you're on the mound or whether you're, you know, offensively. But he's an extremely hard worker, so that's not hard for him to continue, I hope so.
Davis has various strengths, not just on the field, but as a teammate too.
You know, Davis is his dad is a former baseball coach. You know, now he's the athletic director. So he's come up around. His dad played college baseball, so you can tell he's always been around it. Knows the name. I mean, knows the game really well. You know, so to go along with his athletic ability, he just knows the game really well.
Davis has many notable memories, but one particular one stands out to him.
Probably being at the state championship when my dad was coaching at DeSoto Central and them winning it and hoping to get there one day.
Davis's role model is a special one to him.
Probably my dad. He played baseball in college and through the upper levels, and he just has a lot to teach me.
Davis's dad, Coach Jason Miller, is proud of his son in various ways, both on and off the field.
Oh man, I'm proud of all my kids, but he's worked hard and been successful. I think that's what the fun part, I guess, most proud is you know, seeing him do what he loves but be successful at it.
Baseball's looking ahead to back-to-back wins tomorrow. This is Max Enos, WTHS News.
Thanks, Max. It's amazing to see how hard our athletes work. Speaking of, our basketball team has recently won their second round of playoffs. Last Friday, the girls' basketball team competed against Starkville. The team played hard and came out on top. The Lady Wave beat the Yellow Jackets 53-48.
I mean, I think we feel great. I feel like we've rested. We've played 2 games in 2 weeks, so I feel like we're playing our best basketball. So we've been here before, so I think the girls kind of know what to expect as we go into this week.
I think one thing that's going to help us is that we were there last year, so we kind of know what to expect physically and emotionally. And the other challenges is, I mean, just everyday life stuff, distractions that come along with life.
This past Thursday, the Lady Wave competed in the semifinals. They played Northwest Rankin and won 54-46. We will wrap up their state championship game next week. Congratulations, Lady Wave. Basketball aren't the only ones working hard. Last Saturday, our girls' powerlifting team competed in their division meet at Madison Central. The girls placed second overall. Morgan Brown and Kayla Whitfield placed first in their weight class. The team also had several people who also placed high. Tomorrow, baseball will play at Marvel at 12-2. Make sure you stay tuned in next week as we will wrap up the Lady Wave basketball's final round of playoffs. I'm Rylie Robinson, WTHS Sports Media.
Thanks, Rylie. Our sports are starting off the spring season well. As February comes to an end, our Black History Month program was held on February 22nd in the Performing Arts Center. Each year, people across the country celebrate achievements in the lives of African Americans in February. So much of today's culture and the way of life can be traced to the grit and the commitment of African Americans have shown over time. This year, Tupelo High School held the theme of African American First, and on February 22nd, the school found a unique way to celebrate its heritage through a performance by THS Voices.
I just like directing, you know. You just want everybody just to feel the joy and happiness. Want everybody, you know, clap their hands, do something for the Lord.
I just want to say I think those children did a great job. It was awesome. It was phenomenal. They sung well. They enjoyed it, which was really good, and it was something they wanted to do. And a big shout out to Dr. Sparkman, who was behind us the whole time.
On another note, Saturday, February 17th, High Tide students travel to compete in the ICHSA quarterfinals at Liberty High School in Kansas City, Missouri. It's the same competition seen in the hit movie Pitch Perfect, and Dr. Susie Williams has dreamed of taking her students to the competition since arriving at Tupelo High School. These students made history by being the first Tupelo group to ever perform in the competition. The students did not place in the top 2, but they won an award for outstanding arrangement.
So students get the opportunity to hear other a cappella groups, high school a cappella groups from around the country, and it's just great to see, you know, other high schools doing what you love to do.
The students say they're looking forward to their upcoming competitions at Southern Miss and Universal Studios in Orlando. Here at Tupelo High School, our departments strive for excellence inside and outside of the classroom. That's all we have for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this week's edition of WTHS News, and have a great weekend.